super frustrating. Everything's just frustrating. This game of basketball can be so frustrating. The whistle, not because it was an inconsistent whistle, just because the nature of the game can be so frustrating. Frustrating opponent because they pressure so much, they kind of take you out of stuff, and it was hard to get to a flow of the game because of the whistle. And obviously the Gavin Baxter situation is just we're just super hopeful and prayerful, but it was just a mountain of frustration. I told the guys in the 8-minute media timeout that a lot of times this game, like what you're competing against, actually is frustration. That's actually your opponent. I thought the guys did a really nice job just managing it. They just managed it, kind of kept focused, kept locked in the best they could, and I'm super proud of them.
Thanks, Coach. Let's take some questions from Darnell Dixon, Mitch Harper, and Sean Walker.
Yeah, Mark, obviously the height advantage played a big part tonight. A lot of offensive rebounds, 18. I think last year the high of your team's 11, so making progress in that, and that kind of maybe got you guys some momentum during the first half.
Yeah, we managed to miss a lot of shots today, and it's actually, I'm really super pleased with that. I'm really pleased. This offensive glass just has to become a significant part of this team. It's really important to us. Clearly incredibly impressed with Rich Harwood today with the space he took up. So glad that we're making progress. Darnell, that's got to move us above 344 on the offensive glass, doesn't it? It just has to. Maybe we're down to the 330s. Maybe next week we can get to the 320s.
Coach, is this one of those nights where maybe you wish you had some fans in the stands to kind of give a lift? Is it kind of difficult to navigate with nearly no one in the gym on nights like this?
I wouldn't say it's difficult. It's just the game. Like, great teams and great players, they just embrace the frustration, and they just they keep playing through it and trying to make positive plays. Now, clearly, if you're asking me if I'd rather have fans in the stands every night, 100%. But this is something that we have to manage as a team, and I think that we learned a lot. Like, this team is going to learn. Like, we talk about turning. You guys have heard me say this a ton. One of our team mantras: turn frustration into fight. Right? That's one of the things we believe in. And so we can talk about it all summer long, but it doesn't become real till you're in a game and you feel it, and it just won't go away, right? You can't fix it, and so you just have to kind of keep mucking through it. And that's how it felt tonight. And hopefully our guys, Caleb Lohner, we talked about it, and then right at the end of the game, he was like, "We love frustration." And that's what we're looking for. That's one of the components that makes up a good team, is a team that's able to compete through frustration.
Speaking of Caleb, what made you go with him in the second half with Gav obviously out?
Yeah, I thought he did an unbelievable job on the glass. I thought he was really solid defensively in the first half, and I trust him. I'm actually excited for him to keep growing. His decision making was good. He just had one little rushed offensive decision early on, maybe midway through the second half or the first half. But otherwise, he's pretty solid offensively. I'm excited about him. He's gonna grow he's gonna grow before our eyes. Like, I hope that Cougar fans are watching him now, and they watch him every single game, because he's one of those guys that his trajectory is going to be really steep. It's going to be fun.
Coach, kind of building on that a little bit, you mentioned Rich, you mentioned Caleb. I thought Jesse Wade had a pretty nice night off the bench as well, some good minutes. It seems like your bench play in general kind of came in and gave you sort of that second unit of guys that really just kind of sparked you when things were a little sluggish there. Just how good were they coming in off the bench and kind of giving you that energy that you needed, I guess?
Well, it was in this type of game where, the fouls are 26 to 25. I'm just so grateful for the depth, because last year I would have had to put Coach Feger in the game, right? We just wouldn't have had any bodies left. So I'm super grateful for the depth. I thought Jesse was terrific. Actually, I thought Jesse in the first half was spectacular defensively. Was really, really solid. I was really proud of him. And he actually helped our offense flow a little bit better. Clearly, we're just a million miles away from functioning at a high level offensively against pressure. It's an area we got to grow, but he definitely helped us. I was super proud of him, super pleased with his performance tonight.
All right, let's take some questions from Jeff Call, Norma Gonzalez, and Bridger Beal.
Coach, what can you tell us about Matt Harm's status right now? How's he progressing? And is there anything you can tell us about Gavin and how he's doing right now?
Yeah, so first, Matt is he had a really good workout again today. We're going to actually throw him into a little bit of practice tomorrow and see how it goes. So I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful we were able to survive these 2 games without him. And then I just would like to get him some practice reps, even if it's just for a day before he plays in a game. So we'll get a chance to do that tomorrow. In terms of Gavin, we just don't know. He's going to go get imaging, and we're going to see. We're just really, really just hopeful and praying that that it is something that's recoverable quickly.
So, looking over the stats right now, you guys were 8 of 21 from the free throw line, and it seems like, at least in the first half, New Orleans wouldn't miss from the free throw line. The second half, they had a little bit more trouble. But what do you have to say about the way you guys need to improve off the charity stripe and how that can cost you games?
Yeah, I was actually really proud. You know, Rich wasn't great from the free throw line tonight, but he stood in there and finished every shot, and that's actually what we evaluate. That's what we look for on our team. Is we know if he does that, he'll continue and improve from the free throw line. So I was really pleased. I was actually really, really pleased that we got to the free throw line. We had 21 free throw attempts, which is actually a pretty good number for us. And a lot of those free throws that Rich earned were on where he was gaining us an extra possession. So I'm super pleased with it. I think we'll continue to get better just with reps and comfort of the line. But I did like the way that we approached the free throws today. That's the when you step up at the line and you own every shot and finish every shot, you're going to get better and you're going to make them. So I felt good about it.
And sort of building off that, how would you describe the aggressiveness that your team showed today and the way that they handled New Orleans' aggressiveness?
Well, clearly we got to get better. You know, one of the things that the pressure did to us, it just kept us, in the moments when we function really well. I'll give you an example. You guys saw we're in the second half where it's just been frustrating and stymied. We finally started getting to the second side, and twice in a row, Spencer Johnson just flew off the flow in the corner, forced his way off the ball screen, and hit a roll for 2 straight layups, right? And it was just because of the force and pace that he went with. And it was because we got to a second side really quick. Our forwards turned the ball really quick and were really aggressive. And we just didn't have enough of that tonight. We had too much where we kind of succumbed to the pressure. We wanted to probe too much with the dribble. And against a team like this that covers so much ground so quickly, it's just not a good recipe. It's what you see with young teams going against pressure. And so we're going to learn a lot from this. I'm super grateful for this game. You know, we're really fortunate to play 2 completely opposite opponents in the last 2 nights. And just getting the different looks is going to be huge for our growth. It's going to be really important for our growth, and that's what we need to do. I mean, clearly we're not close to the team that we need to be or we're going to be, but you can see the pieces of what could become a really, really special team.
Coach, it seemed like a couple of guys took a little while in the first half to get kind of warmed up to the game, to kind of find their shot. How much of that had to do with playing a back-to-back last night and tonight, or how much of that are you concerned about just getting off to a quicker start going forward?
I don't know how much had to do with back-to-back. We were pretty manageable minutes last night. I think it had to do with New Orleans. I mean, I'll give them credit. We knew it. We talked about it last night. It was going to be an ugly game. They're a high pressure in the passing lanes, disrupt everything you do, bring 2 to the ball, really, really heavy bottoms, quick on rotations defensive team. And, we didn't manage that great. I didn't expect we would, but so I think probably the ugliness of the game had more to do with the effectiveness of what New Orleans was trying to do.
question from Mitch, and then Darnell, did you have a follow-up as well? Or are you set? Okay, I think just Mitch. Go ahead, Mitch.
Yeah, Coach, what are your thoughts on Trevin Nell? I feel like there was a key stretch there, like the 14-minute mark in the second half. He gets that defensive stop, and then he had a corner three and an alley-oop to get him. Maybe speak to his development and his growth and the role he's forming in this rotation.
Yeah, Trevin was teasing me after the game. He's like, Coach, I got a number in every single box. I'm looking right now to see if that's true. 3 for 3, 2 for 2, no free throws, 1 rebound, 2 fouls, 8 points, 2 assists, 0 turnovers. Super proud for him about that. 2 steals, a block. And he's a plus 21 on the game, right? So he was actually our leader. He was tied a 3-way tie for our best plus minus in the game. I'm super proud of him. You know, it's really interesting when you have a guy that is known as a shooter, right? And when it's all said and done, he's gonna become a great shooter that we're gonna all acknowledge as a great shooter, a really dangerous shooter. But what I'm happy with Trev is Trev is not building his game on his shot right now. He's building his game on having a complete game where he contributes to everything. And that actually gives you staying power as a shooter, where you can actually stay in the game when you're not making shots, right? And so he's approaching this in a really mature way. He gave our pregame speech today. Thought it was fantastic. He's got a chance to increasingly take a leadership role on this team, and I think he's doing it. So I'm really happy with him. Was really proud of his performance tonight.
And then lastly, if we don't talk to you tomorrow, your thoughts on taking on your old program in Utah Valley coming up this weekend?
Yeah, they're really good. Mark's done an unbelievable job. You know, they had a solid year last year, and they're going to have a really, really good year this year. They've got a lot of length in the backcourt. They got a kid up front who I think was on pace today to be like a 40-30 game, right? A 45-30 game. I think they took him out the last. I don't know if he played in the second half or not. So they're going to be really good, a really, really well-coached team. And it's going to be about every single one of these in-state games. Every single one is just going to be it's why they're great, is because you can roll the dice and guess who's going to win, because it's going to be an all-out battle. And so it's awesome. I mean, it's what we look forward to. We're really excited about it.